Welcome back, the rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Abraham Lincoln wheat pennies and rare Lincoln wheat cents, but not just any coins. We're talking about the ones that sold for thousands of dollars at auction, so let's get started. First up, the 1917 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in a red color shade and, you guessed it, in dirty condition. It may not be the most pristine coin in the world, but it's still a part of history. So, stick around to find out what this coin is worth in today's market. Let's start with some basics. The 1917 Lincoln Wheat penny is a part of the famous Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 all the way through 1958. This coin features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the reverse displays two stalks of wheat, which is where the coin gets its nickname from. Now, you'll notice that this particular 1917 penny doesn't have mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. For many collectors, the absence of a mint mark is a key characteristic that helps identify the coin as being struck at the Philadelphia Mint now. Let's take a closer look at this coin's condition. You mentioned it has a red color shade and is in dirty condition. So, what does that mean? Well, when a penny has a red shade, it typically means that it was once in good condition but has now aged or tarnished to a reddish-brown tone, commonly due to the coin's copper content oxidizing over time. Unfortunately, this coin also has dirt and grime on its surface, which isn't unusual for a coin that has been circulating for over a century. The dirt and oxidation can obscure some of the finer details of the coin, making it harder to assess its overall condition. In general, dirty coins or coins with significant discoloration are harder to grade and may not be as appealing to collectors as those with a clean, polished appearance. But even with a bit of grime and oxidation, this 1917 penny still holds some value due to its age and place in the Wheat Penny series. So how much is a 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny in dirty condition with a red color shade worth today? In today's market, this coin is typically valued between $250 and $500, depending on the extent of the dirt and oxidation. Even in dirty or less than perfect condition, this penny is worth more than its face value because of its age and historical significance. However, if this coin were to be cleaned and restored to a more presentable state, its value could be a little higher. But remember, cleaning coins is risky because it can damage them and ultimately lower their value. You may be wondering why dirt and oxidation lower the coin's value. Well, collectors highly value coins with clear details and minimal damage. Dirt and grime hide important features and make it difficult to determine the coin's exact grade, which in turn affects its market value. In fact, cleaning a coin can cause more harm than good, as it may scratch the surface and permanently alter the look of the coin. So, if you have a coin like this 1917 penny, it's best to leave it as is unless you're certain it can be cleaned safely by a professional. Now, you might be asking, what makes the 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny valuable despite being in dirty condition? Well, there are a few factors at play. First, the Lincoln Wheat Penny series is one of the most beloved coin series among collectors. The 1917 penny is not as rare as some other years, but it still holds historical significance as part of the early 20th century's coinage. The fact that it's a 1917 coin, minted more than a century ago, adds to its charm. Over time, these coins have become harder to find in good condition, which increases their desirability among collectors. So, how can you identify your 1917 Lincoln Wheat penny? First, check the date on the obverse side of the coin. If it says 1917, you've got the right year. Then, look at the mint mark area beneath the date. Since this coin has no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. Next up, the 1930 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, in good condition. If you found one of these in your pocket change or in your collection, you might be wondering how much it's worth. Well, stick around because we're going to break down its value in today's market. Let's start with the basics. The 1930 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of the iconic Wheat Penny series, which was produced from 1909 to 1958. As you can see, the obverse features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse shows two stalks of wheat, hence the name Wheat Penny. The 1930 penny was minted in Philadelphia, which means it does not have a mint mark. Coins from Philadelphia during this period typically didn't include a mint mark, so it's important to note when you don't see one. Now, let's talk about this coin's condition. You mentioned it's in good condition. So, what does that mean in the world of coin collecting? In good condition, you'll notice some noticeable wear on the coin. The details in President Lincoln's portrait may be slightly worn, and the wheat stalks on the reverse may also show some flattening. However, the date and most of the main features should still be clearly visible. Coins in good condition are still valuable, especially when we're talking about a coin that's over 90 years old like this one. The key to determining value here is how much wear there is while still keeping the important details visible. So, how much is the 1930 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition worth in today's market? The value for a coin like this typically ranges between $100 and $300, depending on the exact quality and demand from collectors. As you can see, it's not a high-value coin, but it's still worth more than face value. The 1930 penny was minted in fairly large numbers, so it's not particularly rare. However, the value can still vary based on market demand, the coin's specific condition, and how well it's been preserved. You might be wondering why the condition affects the value so much. Well, coin collectors are always looking for coins that maintain their details and overall appearance. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin. A coin in excellent or uncirculated condition could be worth much more than one in good or fair condition. For example, a 1930 penny in fine or very fine condition could be worth a bit more, around $400 to $500. But in good condition, the value will stay closer to that $560 to $600 range. You might be asking, what makes this 1930 penny valuable, even though it's not the rarest or most pristine coin out there? Well, it's the historical significance. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series is one of the most collected U.S. coin series, and even the more common years like 1930 still have a place in collectors' hearts. If you think you have a 1930 Lincoln Wheat Penny, here's how you can confirm it. First, check the date on the obverse. If it says 1930, you've got the right coin. Then, look below the date for the absence of a mint mark. A 1930 penny from Philadelphia will not have a mint mark. Once you've confirmed the date and the absence of a mint mark, you can assess the condition. In good condition, the major features of the coin should still be visible, even though some of the finer details might be worn. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark. We'll dive into what makes this penny so valuable and what it's worth in fine condition in today's market. Let's start with a quick overview. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, first introduced in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner. The 1944 penny is a particularly popular one because of its historical significance and its composition. One important detail to note with the 1944 penny is the D mint mark, which tells us that it was struck at the Denver Mint. The mint mark appears just beneath the year on the reverse side of the coin, to the right of the wheat ears. On the obverse, we have the image of Abraham Lincoln, with the year 1944 to the right, the word liberty to the left, and the motto, "In God We Trust," at the top. The design is classic and iconic. Now, let's talk about condition. In fine condition, the coin shows moderate wear but still retains most of its details. For example, you can clearly see the features of Lincoln's face, though they may be a bit softer, and the wheat ears are still recognizable. The coin's value increases when it's in better condition, but fine is still a solid grade for this coin. Now, the big question. What is the value of a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark in fine condition? Well, as of today, you can expect this penny to be worth around $15,000 in fine condition. It's still a very affordable coin, but for collectors, it's a great addition to their collection. The 1944 penny is special not only because of the mint mark, but also because of the time it was made. 1944 was during World War II, and the U.S. government made this coin out of steel and copper after a shortage of other metals, which makes it a nice piece of American history. Next up, the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This one has no mint mark and is in very fine condition. You might be wondering how much it's worth in today's market, so stick around as we break down its value and significance. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909, and it quickly became one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. The obverse features President Abraham Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse displays 2 ears of wheat, giving it the nickname Wheat Penny. Now, the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny, like many other pennies from the era, is considered part of the later years in the series. However, this specific coin, with no mint mark, is an interesting example to examine. Let's take a moment to talk about mint marks. Coins that are produced at different mints are marked with a letter to indicate where they were minted. A blank coin, like the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, means that it was struck in Philadelphia. So, what do we mean by very fine condition? A coin in this grade shows significant wear but still retains a lot of detail. For the 1947 wheat penny, you'll see Lincoln's portrait clearly, though there might be slight wear on the high points. The wheat stalks on the reverse will be visible, but you may notice some light smoothing on the lines. As of now, the value of the 1947 wheat penny in very fine condition generally ranges between 30 cents and $1. While it's not the rarest coin, it still holds some value because of its condition and its place in the Lincoln wheat penny series. Since this coin isn't particularly rare, it's worth more for its condition and as a part of a complete wheat penny collection. If it's well preserved, you could see it on the higher end of that price range. While 1947 wasn't a low mintage year for the Lincoln wheat penny, this coin is still highly sought after by collectors who are trying to complete their sets. The design itself is part of a series that is rich in American history, and many people find joy in collecting coins from different years. Additionally, very fine condition coins are more desirable because they show more of the original design than coins in lower grades. Even though it's not rare, it's in a condition that collectors appreciate, which keeps its value steady. You can find 1947 Lincoln wheat pennies in a variety of places, from online marketplaces like eBay to local coin shops or even coin shows. These pennies are still relatively easy to find since they were produced in large quantities. If you're looking to buy, make sure to compare prices across different platforms and always check the condition to ensure you're getting what you pay for. If you're looking to sell, local dealers or online auction sites are your best options, but remember to take into account the current market values. Next up, the 1948 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. But there's a twist. It's in dirty condition. You might be wondering how much it's worth in today's market, so stick with me as we break down its value and condition. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln wheat penny, first introduced in 1909, features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with 2 ears of wheat on the reverse. It's an iconic coin in American history. The 1948 Lincoln wheat penny, like other pennies from the era, is part of the series that ran from 1909 to 1958. The coin you're looking at here doesn't have a mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. So, what do we mean by dirty condition? Well, it's exactly as it sounds. The coin has visible dirt, grime, or tarnish, which often comes from years of circulation without proper care. These coins might look worn and less visually appealing, but they still hold value as long as the basic details remain legible. Now, dirty coins are often found in lower grades because the dirt and oxidation can obscure important design features. While cleaning a coin is generally not recommended for high-grade pieces, it's not uncommon for collectors to encounter these coins in this state. Now let's talk about how this dirty condition affects the coin's value. In general, coins in poor or dirty condition are worth less than those in better grades. Dirt, tarnish, and grime can hide the finer details of the design, which impacts the coin's appeal to collectors. The condition of a coin is one of the most important factors when determining its value, and dirt can lower the overall grade of the coin, meaning it won't be worth as much as a well-maintained example. So, while the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny in great condition could fetch a higher price, this dirty version will see a decrease in value because collectors generally seek coins that are in good, clean condition. Well, the value of a 1948 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark in dirty condition is typically around $510 to $6.50. This is a significant drop from what a well-preserved example might fetch, as dirt and grime reduce its overall appeal to collectors. Despite its condition, the 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of a popular series that's widely collected. It's a coin that collectors often seek to complete their sets. And the fact that it's a historic piece makes it valuable, even if it's not in perfect shape. If you found a coin in dirty condition, you might be tempted to clean it. However, cleaning coins is something that should be done with care, as improper cleaning can actually damage the coin and reduce its value. The best way to clean a coin is by using gentle methods, like rinsing it in distilled water or using a soft brush. Avoid using harsh chemicals or abrasive materials, as they can scratch and further tarnish the surface. But if you're just looking to preserve the coin, the best method is usually to leave it as is. Many collectors prefer to keep coins in their original natural state, even if it's a bit dirty, as this preserves the coin's history. If you're looking to sell your 1948 penny, you can try listing it online or take it to a dealer. Keep in mind, the value will be on the lower end due to its condition, but it's still a piece of history that many collectors will appreciate. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for more coin breakdowns. Do you have a 1948 wheat penny in your collection? Let me know in the comments below.